I'm Dave Lieber, and welcome to my show. That really is me falling off the stage at Keller High School. It made America's Funniest Home Videos. But today we're here to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, and especially the early Cowboys. Something happened at a game in 1967 that we still talk about today. A lot of the legends on the Cowboys happened on the field, but this one happened off the field when in the middle of the first quarter in a game against the Atlanta Falcons in 1967, and I guess we'll call her a stripper, an exotic dancer named Bubbles Cash came down the center aisle, and she was carrying 2 cotton candies in front of her tatas, and the whole game stopped. The referee stopped the game because the stadium lit up on fire because this beautiful woman had come down and taken her seat. She was wearing a mini skirt, and you can see from the photo, she stopped the game, and this would never happen. Look at the smiling faces on all these people that as she came down the aisle. Beautiful woman, and a lot of people hadn't heard from her for a long time, but I am proud to say that my guest today is the one and only Bubbles Cash of Fort Worth, Texas. Welcome to the Dave Lieber Show.
Thank you, Dave.
Coming down the aisle, which was taken by Joe Laird at the Dallas Morning News in 1967, is one of the most famous, iconic photos in the Dallas Cowboy history.
Wow.
So I want to hear the story, Bubbles. You were dancing at the Athena Club, and some Cowboy players came in, and they were watching you, and then they said to you, have you ever been to a football game, and what happened next?
Well, I've never been to a professional football game, and so Jerry Rome gave me 4 tickets to the Atlanta game, and my husband and I, Mac, my husband, and Cotton and Judy Moore went to the game that Sunday. And, well, my life has never been the same since.
Yeah, you were how old at the time?
19.
19, and so then, so the game stopped. The referees said timeout. Don Meredith, who I wrote a book about, Danny Don Meredith, which is where I first learned about you, he didn't know what was going on, and he asked around, and Bob Hayes, the wide receiver, said, Dandy, Don, it's Bubbles Cash, the stripper. And so Coach Landry was watching this, and he sees Don Meredith give a timeout, and he's like, what the heck did you give a timeout for? And Meredith says, Coach, it's Bubbles Cash. And this was news. This was front page news. I'll show you. And what we'll see here is the Dallas Morning News put the picture on the front page. And what's amazing about it is the caption. I love the caption. It was game? Question mark?
Game?
What game? Because you stole the show. You stole the show.
Yeah.
So what happened after that?
Well, I could pinpoint who started it. It was these hoorah guys that a couple of seats back from me. They thought that they would embarrass me or have a little embarrassment or something, and all in good fun. And so they broke out the hoorahs, and it caught on all over the stadium. People were standing up and everything. And I saw the TV camera come to me, and I knew I was on the focus of the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you go down the Cotton Bowl, there's about 5 steps and then a platform. Like a little 4x4 platform in concrete, and then 5 more steps, and then, on and on. So when I got to the flat place, I did a little turnaround, mm-hmm. and just to tease, all in good fun.
I counted 40 people smiling and laughing in that picture.
Wow.
Why do you think they were so giggly about you coming down the stairway like that.
'Cause the joke went over. It was a happening.
Yeah.
I call it a happening. It just spontaneously combusted.
Yeah. Because of, you told me, because of your blonde hair and your good looks, right?
I guess so. And youth.
I think it's amazing, really, because this could never happen in the NFL today. A stripper could not come down the center aisle in the middle of a game and stop the game.
Really?
But what I heard was that they didn't have big scoreboards back then. They had binoculars. All the men had binoculars to watch the game, so all the binoculars went up. And I think one of the reasons why it worked out so well is that your skirt was so short.
My
The
skirt was
micro
short.
mini. What's the story with those micro mini shirts?
Well, that was the day of the mini skirt, and I was one of the first to sport it out in public.
And you couldn't go out and buy a mini skirt. You had to make them yourself, you told me.
Well, I wanted them shorter, so I had them taken up.
And so you became a celebrity. And at that point, you would go to a game and people would take your pictures. They put you on TV. People asked for your autograph.
Yeah.
And your autograph was BB dollar sign for Bubbles. BB dollar sign.
Well, my one autograph was B. Doot, doot. Looked like
You can say it.
Tatas.
Yeah, tatas. Yeah.
And then Bubbles, cash. And I crossed the dollar sign on my cash.
Yeah, right. It's a great autograph. And people ask me about you, and they want to know if what happened to you after, if you continued dancing or if you stopped dancing after that, or what.
Oh no, I continued dancing. I told my husband I can't wait to get to work tonight and tell him what happened to me at the football game. Well, when I got to work that evening, it was on a Sunday evening, and when I got there, the couples were lined up around the block. You know.
So that's what happened. I mean, for the first time, men and women would come to strip shows to see the celebrity dancer, Bubbles Cash.
And the one reason, it was just an opportune moment for me because of which I wasn't aware. But Barney and Abe Weinstein, the brothers that owned the Theater Lounge and the Colony Club, saw me on TV. It said, "That's Bubbles." And they called the newspaper and printed the newspaper in the next daily edition, the evening edition, printed my name, and the next day printed it. So.
And so at that point, you became a celebrity.
Yes.
And what did that entail? What kind of benefits did you get for being a celebrity?
Well, I got more money.
Did you? And
Yeah, I got a raise because I was getting the groups of people, like, 4 people at a time, or maybe 5 people coming in to, occupy one table.
how'd you get into strip dancing?
I wanted to take the place of Candy Bar somewhat without going to prison. And shoot, when I was in my young age, I knew about Candy Bar, and I thought, well, I want to be a star in downtown Dallas. So,
Some people got confused and they said that you danced for Jack Ruby's club, but you didn't dance for Jack Ruby's club because he was before your time. You were still a teenager when all that happened.
Yeah, and Abe and Barney asked me not to go there, so I only went one time.
To go where?
To
Ruby's club?
Ruby's Club.
Oh, yeah, the Carousel Club. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
the carousel.
Uh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I had to go one time just to see what it was like.
Yeah.
It was upstairs,
Hmm.
and I checked it out, but I never went back.
Oh, let's show people a little bit of what you look like back then. Can I see number 11? In this picture you're about to see, there you are. I joke that you stand up in a crowd. You stand out because and that's how you looked back then. And they would give you tickets to all the home games of the Cowboys, and they also would give you tickets for the
Yep.
away games, and so you would fly to
Yep.
see them back then.
I was making the most of it.
Yeah, here's another one. Here's a headshot of you. You are, and you remain. Look at that. You look so
Thank you.
ravishing, and you're still very beautiful.
Oh, thank
and
you.
and I know I'm not supposed to ask a woman's age, but how old are you now?
78.
78, and you live in Fort Worth, and
And I'm
you've had
born in January, so I'm not
Mm-hmm.
long for 78.
I gotcha. Let's look at number 7. Here's another example of what attracted people to you. Look at that beautiful lady. Yeah.
When I was a child, I mean, in grade school, I thought I want to be a public speaker when I grow up. Of all things,
Of all things, yeah.
of all things. And then all of a sudden, I was invited to different groups. And so I just wrote out speeches for each one of them and delivered my speeches. And I became sought after for a public speaker. I had no idea of knowing how that would come about.
Well, you did 2 amazing things after this incident with the Falcons. You ran for governor of Texas in 1968, and you said to me, I had to do something with all that publicity that I got.
Mm-hmm.
But then in 1990, you did something historic, which is worth noting. You ran for governor again, but
Yeah.
this time you took it seriously. You bought women's business suits, and you'd show up at the Rotary and the Chamber, and you gave real speeches. And that was the election in 1990 where Ann Richards beat Clayton Williams.
Yeah.
And so you ran as a write-in. You said everybody and his dog is running as a write-in. So you
That's
registered as a
right.
write-in, and you came in 4th because Ann Richards won, Clayton Williams came in 2nd, the Libertarian candidate came in 3rd, and then they started counting the write-in
Write-ins.
candidates, and you had over 3,000 to give you number 4. You would have been governor of Texas. And what was your platform when you were running?
Peace.
Peace in Vietnam.
Yeah, peace and I wanted to end the war in Vietnam and lower the voting age to 18, and that therefore the drinking age,
Yeah.
to 18, because I felt like if you're old enough, man enough, woman enough to go and possibly die for your country, you ought to be able to have a drink.
So all
know.
3 of your platforms have been enacted. They can drink at 18 now, right?
Yeah.
And they, let's see, there's peace in Vietnam,
Yeah.
and they can vote early. And so
Well-
all your platforms you were ahead of your time. Yeah.
Yeah, ahead of my time.
Well, how'd you get the nickname Bubbles? When you were an infant, you were blowing bubbles.
when I was just a toddler.
And I like that because the way I wrote about it in the newspaper, and we'll get to that in a second, was you attracted attention when you blew bubbles.
Yeah.
And so you kept doing it to attract attention.
My
So
my sister would say, "See the bubbles, see the bubbles,"
come?
and the more I'd blow.
And to me, that was a symbol of you. If you were an attention getter later on.
Yeah.
So this was the first way for you to get attention.
That's
know?
that's the gist of it.
Yep. So I wrote about you in the newspaper, and can you call up number 1, please? I wrote about you, and there you made the cover of the Dallas Morning News Arts and Life section, and you can see all those blue dots. Michael Hogue did this, our artist, and I asked him what the blue dots were, and he said they represent the bubbles and also the spirit that you brought about from people wherever you were.
Cool.
Can we look at number 2? Now, this is pretty rare. Look how much space the newspaper gave you. 2 pages, three full pages a couple of weeks ago. And we ran some of the pictures and we told the whole story of your life. And you can find that article if you want to read it at dallasnews.com. And you search for dallasnews.com and Bubbles Cash. And maybe my name, Dave Lieber, Lieber, and you'll be able to see the whole story, because we can't cover everything, but I sure do enjoy talking to you about this because, how did the Cowboy players treat you?
Oh, they treated me fine. Invited me up to the Cowboys office, showed me the building, showed me their quarters and everything. I can't remember the name of the building, but it was the Cowboys. One the Cowboys
Was
were
it
in.
Valley Ranch? No, it wasn't that.
No,
They
it
weren't
was
built-
downtown Dallas.
Downtown, yeah, that's right. They weren't. Valley Ranch
think-
hadn't come about yet.
I think. Don't get me to lying. It was. No, they didn't have a Valley Ranch then.
No, they didn't. That was my error. Yeah. So let's see. I don't think I've shown the picture of number 10. Here's another doing a cutesy woman doing a cutesy. Look at that. Just you knew how to get attention.
Yeah. There was Don Meredith, Jerry Rome, and Lance Rensel, quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't think Rensel wasn't a quarterback.
No, I guess not. He was a tight end.
Yeah, we had to correct that. Otherwise, I'd get 10 pieces of mail
Oh.
telling me I don't know what Lance Rensel did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I'm wrong.
So you kept a low profile all these years. I mean, people didn't know you were still around. And then I found you. It was kind of tricky to find you, but I did because I'm an investigative reporter. Let's look at picture number 5.
Well,
Look at that. There I am. I'm wearing a leopard skin jacket in honor of your leopard skin miniskirt. And that was when I asked you to autograph my football. And you said you never autographed a football before. So that was. Let's look at number 6.
I
was happy to find you there. I was really happy to find you. And I know a lot of people were because they remember you.
I was hesitant to get any publicity if I didn't have a way to use it,
Yeah, I mean, what's the good of being
turn
known
it into
if you-
tickets at the door,
Yep, and that did work, didn't it?
Yeah, it did work.
But then after how many years of dancing before you quit?
That 12 years.
So 12 years, and the phrase of the time was, "That's Bubbles Cash." That's Bubbles Cash, right?
Yeah.
And so then you decided, you had this funny line where you said that I didn't want to spend the rest of my life in a G-string, right?
Yeah, I didn't want to grow old in a G-string.
And so you owned a pawn shop, Dallas Gold and Silver, right? What was it
Top
called?
Cash Gold and Silver.
Top Cash Gold and Silver.
On Webb Chapel in Dallas. But
And then you worked as a butcher.
yes, I
and
did.
you created a sandwich which you called Bubbles. What was it called?
The Bubbles Burger.
And you said the Bubbles burger was big, just like you, big and famous, right? What was it? What did you say? How did you say it?
It was voluptuous.
Voluptuous, and it's named after you. And then, of course, please call up number 8. You did something. You created another job that most people don't have. You became a sign holder for stores. You would sit in a median on like Greenville Avenue or something like that, and you would just hold up signs for stores.
Yes.
And you say, when people would stop to talk to you, what you were protesting, you would say, "I'm not protesting. I'm just advertising this sign. Go over there and go to the store and tell them Bubbles sent you and get a discount," right? And you told your mom you were a streetwalker, an honest streetwalker, right? Yeah. So I thought, how'd you come up with that idea?
Well, my husband was a sign painter, left-handed and free-handed, just an excellent sign painter. And he ended up buying the shop that he worked at, and he just was so talented. But that's how he painted my show cards. You
And
know.
how many stores did you advertise back then?
Oh, let's see, two,
Two?
two, two at one time.
And did people actually go to the store and say,
Yeah.
I met Bubbles on the highway median and she was
Yeah,
advertising it?
I asked him to go and tell him Bubbles sent you.
So really what it comes down to is you're a great entrepreneur, a great businesswoman. You're
Well,
always working, making money, trying new things.
thank you.
You know?
Thanks. I meant for it all to be in good fun,
Hmm.
and laugh at yourself, and the world laughs with you. Cry and you cry alone.
Yeah, my mother used to tell me that all the time.
Something to.
Well, are you still a Cowboys fan? Yeah? How much do you like the Cowboys? Do you root for
Oh,
them?
I love them.
Hmm.
I always root for them. If they're playing a game, I want them to win.
Hmm.
I want my boys to win.
Well, how do you feel about the fact that your boys haven't been successful in all these years? What's your thought on that?
It happens. Yeah, they have an off year.
Well, what about an off decade?
Well, it happens.
You're just going
But
to forgive them,
that doesn't keep them from participating.
right? Well, you're tough. You're a good fan, I guess, because a lot of people have dropped the Cowboys and they don't feel like
Oh,
Jerry Jones is treating the team right. You like Jerry Jones?
oh yeah.
Jerry Jones is a general manager, but the real general manager in the early days of the Cowboys was the genius Tex Schramm.
Tex Schramm.
And
He was my bud.
tell me about your relationship with the general manager, Tex Schramm.
Tex Schramm was a sweetheart. He would come and see me dance, and he was a real celebrity in my place of business. You know.
And you told me once he went to your 10-year anniversary, or what was that? He showed up at a party that you had?
Yeah. Yes, he did. And Tex, I think, was responsible for me getting in with the Cowboys to the Cowboys office and, taking the tour. Because I kept my publicity positive as I could. It was all in good fun. It was just tongue in cheek, and laughing, the world laughs with you type thing.
The reason, if you're wondering why are we talking to this Bubbles Cash legendary figure from the early Cowboys, it's because what happened next after Tex Schramm saw the excitement that happened at that Atlanta Falcons game in '67, and he supposedly said, we could sell this. We could sell this. And what happened was they had a cheerleading squad called the Boys in the Bells.
Bells and
Well, and it was high school kids, didn't get paid. They got rid of the teenage boys, and then they got rid of the teenage girls. And Tex said we could sell this, and he wanted there to be something new, replacing them, which was what?
Yep. And
What was it?
they styled the uniform after what I was wearing back in the day.
And they created,
Yeah. They had like a dozen Bubbles Cashes up there.
and they were called the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Right.
And so some people theorize, and you're one of them, and that when he said we could sell this, he was going to add a sexual component
Right.
to the game by having the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And they're white.
Yeah. Tex was a visionary.
They had white go-go boots, and they had short hot pants, and short little, I don't know what you would call those
Yeah.
tops that they. But so you were.
They
like
were adorable.
you believe you were the inspiration for them?
Yes.
How so?
Well, they didn't have anybody standing out at a game until me.
So there were like two games going on at the same time. One was
Yeah.
on the field and one was off the field.
After I went down the steps of the Cotton Bowl, the next Sunday, a girl dyed her hair green and ran out on the field on the 50-yard line.
You didn't do that kind of stuff, right? Because you said
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't do anything like that. I stayed in my boundaries.
Yeah, you joked that you were the only stripper that didn't get sent to jail for prostitution because you wanted to stay classy, right?
Yeah.
And your brother, Woody, who's here today, he's was a Baptist professor at a religious school.
Yes.
And you said you never wanted to embarrass him.
Never did.
But Woody told me people would say, "Are you related to Bubbles Cash?" And he said, "Yeah." He was proud of his sister, and he said you were a very moral person. I remember him telling me that.
That's lovely.
Yeah. That not a lot of strippers can be called very moral persons.
Yeah. Like I told my husband, I want to dance. And I just want to dance.
And you had a pole in your house, right? And that you practice on?
No, I didn't, but I had other things to hang on to.
And so you would practice your dancing at home?
Yes. And the funny thing about it, to me, was my husband had been married before, was a fellow from West Dallas, and her name was Tori Shane, and she was a stripper. Yeah. And I saw her dance once. You know, and I met her and told her I was married to Mac.
If you're still wondering why I'm talking to Bubbles Cash, the legendary Cowboy unofficial mascot, it's because she also was considered the mother of the sexual revolution in Dallas. What I mean by that is Sarah Hepola of the Dallas Morning News, who did a multi-part podcast for Texas Monthly on the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. She said that the day that Bubbles Cash walked down the center aisle was the day the sexual revolution came to Dallas. So I would call you the mother of the sexual revolution. This was 1967 before things got hot.
Come to Mama.
Yeah. You were talking before about how the players respected you and were friends with you. And
Yeah.
Walt Garrison wrote in his book, which was one of the best cowboy books I read, working on the Don Meredith book. Walt Garrison said that you could tell when Bubbles Cash came out because you could hear the whole stadium go, ah! It was like a giant wave. And you could hear that, couldn't you?
I was maybe just a little bit ahead of my time with the short skirts.
Yeah. Yeah. Micro mini, they call those short skirts, right? So, all these years now, you've lived with this story in your mind and what happened. Is there anything you would do to change what happened, or are you happy the way things turned out?
I'm happy with it all. I meant for it to be fun, good humor all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my part to not bring dispersions on my name.
Right. No, it's true. I do all the research on this for the book, and I never found any, what's the word you use, aspersions on your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Well, my husband was proud of me,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter, as she got older, she was proud of me. And my family was not ashamed of me. They were proud of me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well,
you know.
you're adorable. I can't imagine how adorable you must have been 50 years ago.
Thank you.
If you'd like to read about Bubbles Cash and the origin of the Cowboys, here's my book. You can get it on donmeredithbook.com. It's won 2 National Book Awards. And, of course, my play about Amon Carter is opening up at Theater Arlington January 9th, 10th, and 11th. And it's about Amon Carter, Mr. Fort Worth, where we are right now. And you can get tickets at amonplay.com, amonplay.com. I hope to see you at the theater. Bubbles, what an honor to be with you. Oh, I brought you a present. I hope you don't mind. But I brought you what you told me you would like to have, which is the picture. There you go.
Thank you, Dave.
You know, people come up to me and they point to somebody there and they go, "That's my grandfather." They
Wow.
identify their grandparents, you know, in this picture. So I hope you enjoy that.
Oh, I will. I do like it, and I will treasure this.
And remember, folks, if you want to read the story, just go to dallasnews.com, Bubbles Cash, and you'll find it. It's a wonderful story. It should be a movie. Her life should be a movie, for sure. But it's not yet. This is as close as we're going to come. So that's the Dave Lieber Show, and I want to thank Bubbles for helping me write the story and helping me come in here today and share her with you. And I will see you again at the next episode of the Dave Lieber Show. Thank you.